Hello, my friends. Welcome to the show, Jack Chow, on East West with G&E TV. As we all heard on the news, and we saw it, we read it, that back in Yunnan, northeast part of Yunnan, in the county called Ludian, an earthquake to the 6.5 seismologist scale on Richter scale happened. And it took more than 300 lives already so far. Today, joining me in sharing this sad moment is my good friend, Mr. Ken Hemming. He is a writer of an excellent book called Life Simple, 100 Words to Live By. Life is simple, we hope, but sometimes it's difficult. Sometimes it's very complicated. And sometimes you have to bear the losses. Sometimes you have to act really strong. So to Ken, here's my welcome to the show for sharing the moment with me.
Thank you. And may I just to remind you and your viewers, the first word in my book is accept. And we all have to accept that these tragedies do happen and try to gain strength from it.
And first of all, I would invite you to join me in a little moment of silence.
I'd love that.
You mourn of those whose life were taken.
Right.
And my audience, if you would join me, please. Thank you. Our hearts are with them, our thoughts are with them, including with the families whose loved ones were taken, and those who are injured and still fighting to make it in the hospital bed. And of course, our appreciation goes to those who are rescuing and rushing to the rescue of the earthquake-stricken area, to the most needed. To them, here's our salute. All right, now, lots of people are talking about the earthquake, right? But when something happened in that area of that scale, though, even though 6.5, it will be worse when compared to happening anywhere else. Do you know anywhere about the area, the location?
Well, I mean, I don't know specifically about that area. However,
geographically,
right? Well, I read in the paper about where it is, but I haven't been there. I haven't looked at a map. But Pasadena, where I live, is very famous for having such expertise in earthquake prediction and earthquake evaluation. And the Richter scale, as a matter of fact, when I was a CPA, we did Dr. Richter's, all of his tax and financial work for 25 years. So what an honor to know these people. But life is fickle. The Earth, there's certain areas where it's more probable for an earthquake. California is going to have a very, very big one. One of these days, we're right on the San Andreas Fault. It's going to be a big one.
Speaking of that devil, California could encounter a situation much worse than that any moment.
Because we're very
could be next minute, could be next 20 years, could be next whatever.
Right.
That we are in it. We're in the pot.
Right. Very much.
Speaking of that area, though, what makes the situation even worse is that it is a very enclosed area. There's only one way out, one short, about 7 something plus minus miles.
Okay.
Leading from major town to that area, very rural.
Wow.
And those kind of roads were specifically those kind of on the mountainside. Okay. You have one slope this way, and here's the road,
the valley,
and here down is the valley.
Okay, wow.
Right, hundreds of feet deep.
Yeah.
But there's a river down there running, as we can see.
Okay.
Now, so what happens right now is that not only the first shock block the road with the rock slide and a mudslide, the consequent, I mean the
Aftershocks.
frequent aftershocks, which keep happening from the very beginning till even now, the spinet keeps on adding the blocks
Sure.
of the
Absolutely.
raw slide.
Okay.
So they're kind of like doing a race. The rescuer is trying to cleaning up to make it accessible, and the light slide, the rock slide keep happening. So they're kind of doing a race.
Well, and that
It's
just
very-
means the number of victims will continue to increase over a period of time.
That's why you see on TV people carrying shoulder poles or stretchers on shoulders coming out of the area,
Okay, yeah.
yeah, on while they are working on the road cleaning, right? And the second scenario that would make the situation even worse is that they are expecting a heavy rain
That's,
within the next 2 or 3 days.
that's not good.
Yeah, no, the could start right away, could last to next 2 or 3 days. That makes the situation very worse.
Would reduce the ability to efficiently rescue and remove people that are injured, take care of them. And one other thing, like we all know, your viewers and yourself, how much money's put into making our new buildings in America and around the world more earthquake proof. Over here, primarily the buildings are older and brick. In brick with the mortar, and you bounce it like that, it will come apart.
Sure,
And that's
sure.
why when there's earthquakes in California, all these brick chimneys fall over, okay? And you just see it, it happens. And that's what happened over there. It's
Those
their
little towns
construction.
over there were built a long
Right,
time
right,
ago.
right.
As you can see, they were not kind of the modern structure.
Right.
They're kind of the old structure, right? Okay. And, well, you know, something happened. My point, my angle, my perspective is always being that such that let the news part take care of the news.
Sure.
Right. And whatever we do know, we know it from the news.
Yes.
And we know as much as everybody or my audiences know. What I want to emphasize is the fact that how we shall respect life.
That's exactly right.
So
Because there's beautiful souls.
we are living in the environment on the global earth. No matter how strong we human are,
Yes.
we can put an airplane of carrying more than 300 people
Right.
to mid-air.
Right.
Then we can launch a missile to hit somebody thousands of
All the
miles
way
away.
away.
Yet we can't even stand a little shake of the Mother Nature.
Well, you know, one thing, Jack, I'm sure you'll agree with me. If Mother Nature wants to do something, man can do nothing about it.
Exactly.
Mother Nature
Exactly.
rules.
Look at the tsunami that happened in Japan. I happened to watch it again last night, try to recollect the feeling of that moment, the devastating moment. Okay. Waves of hundreds of feet high, like a wall pushes in. Nothing can block it. Nothing can block it. Nothing human can do. Right. So, with that kind of that being the mother nature, being the character of Mother Nature, how we shall respect life, how we shall live. Your opinion, please. I know you wrote your book, Life is Simple.
Right.
And how, in the sense of facing such a mighty power,
Right.
can we make it ourselves simple?
Well, I number one of the overriding theories and beliefs I have in my soul is that every life, the essence and existence of the ability to breathe, which is called life, is of equal value no matter where on the planet, no matter who, whether it's a genius or whether it's somebody with learning disabilities or whatever. So the essence of life. Over there, we just have some children, I'm sure, that are no longer alive. And you know, it's just a matter that we have to understand that life itself is a terminal trip. And it's our honor and obligation to try to be as happy and enjoy it as much as we can and always realizing that we don't know when the end of it's going to be, and if you do live it with a focus on the enjoyment of each and every breath, which I do, then you will live a longer life in terms of joy than people that are, say, negative or not optimistic.
Am I right if I take it this way? When something of that kind of scale,
Yes, sir.
magnitude happens, right? Not only the stronger survive, the weaker survive. The definition we can make.
Yes, sir.
No matter you're strong, you're weak, you're disabled, you're able, you're super able, you will all die.
And it's all a lot of luck.
All right.
Where that brick lands,
Sure.
it may be your head, it may be somebody else.
In other words, could it be disaster, natural disaster? Could it be disease? Could it be natural cause, whatever?
Yeah.
You're born, towards the end, then you die.
You know, I do accept the word destiny. There is the word destiny exists for a reason. That, you know, there's a plan. I don't know what it is. I'm not an expert on it, but we all have a destiny. You walk across the street, you just get missed by a car. I see that last night. I saw a tremendous accident.
Exactly.
And so destiny, you just have to say, I don't know when my end is, but I do know when my current life is.
Sure,
and I'm
exactly.
going to maximize it.
That's why I keep saying to my friends, I'm not a fatalist.
Right.
I'm not, but I want to recognize what is life, what is the end of life, right? Could it be natural cause? Could it be something else?
Oh, it could be, you know, I'm a
Could be
polio
something, could be
survivor, a
something.
cancer
Okay, now,
survivor. I've had everything.
Suppose a doctor can come to you and say, hey, I give you a diagnosis that you have 3 months to live.
Right.
And I don't. Doctor doesn't do that. That doesn't mean that on the freeway nothing will happen to me.
That's right. No, absolutely.
Right? So
and it
we're
doesn't mean
equal.
you're going to die in 3
So
months
we're
either.
equal in this case.
We're
right?
all equal.
Okay.
You're exactly
what
right.
we are not equal
You're
is
exactly
that
right.
how we value the moment.
Right.
We are still breathing.
Right.
Right?
And
the moment we're alive.
Well, and you know, it sounds silly, my friends, but it's not. I always tell everybody my oxygen tastes so good, and my last breath will taste the best. And that's all because of the attitude toward maximizing the joy of life. We all have an equal opportunity to be happy.
Sure.
Because it's all from the mind, not from the money, not from circumstances.
To my audience who were taken in a disaster, were taken already, and I know there's a huge pressure to everybody who has the basic feeling, basic function of feeling something. Yeah. And the sadness is beyond any description. The point is that what happened. How we shall value our life, our living moments. Yeah. In his word, my friend Ken Hammon's word, breathing our oxygen, love our oxygen that we breathe, is a different issue. So let's take a short moment now. When we come back, we'll talk about the other disaster after disaster. I'm on the verge of, I'm on the verge of getting burst.
I agree.
So stay with us. We'll be right back.